That's a good point, actually, because I mean, I'm not sure the average person is really concerned about themselves in that sense, where they even understand the concept of a self. You know what I mean? And being responsible for yourself at any particular age group. You know, especially when you're a teenager, preteen. You know what I mean? You got a lot of pressure from
the external world and the inside world.
Yeah. Because the inside is doing things that you may not even be aware of. You know what I mean? And it's going places and taking you places that you may not even be aware of, and probably aren't in a lot of cases. You know? But when you are at some point, I mean, I tend to think that when you're young, especially with the world being as hyper pressurized as it is, you gotta be given some sort of a excuse for that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot you don't know.
Right, it's an overstimulating environment,
right.
Flashing lights, loud noises, and for somebody who's growing up, stepping into that for the first time,
right,
it's gonna rock you.
Right.
You know, it's
and then you got peer pressure. You got people in
positions of power trying to dictate your way of thinking.
Yeah. You know what I mean? High multi-billion-dollar marketing campaigns to promote certain products, and then when you're young, you're very easily influenceable. So it wouldn't be tough to associate your happiness to convince you, right? Because at the end of the day, we're making decisions, but the campaigns are seeking, the marketing campaigns are seeking to convince us that we have to connect our humanity to these things. You know what I mean?
When it should be the opposite, right?
Right.
It should be humanity looking at these ideas and saying, I want to put in on this.
Right, because
you know
I believe in it, and it can go beyond me, and it can survive me, and it can help other humans after me. You know what I mean? But companies have looked at that and said, "Oh, what is this nonsense about morality? That's nonsense. It's profits over people, right? So let's."
I was just gonna say that when you were saying, you literally said that a minute after me, and I was just like, I'm just gonna wait till he's done talking. And he said it. Okay.
For real, you know what I mean? Like, it did.
That's 100% facts, man.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and, rather than being concerned about ancient traditions and society and people and cultures, man, that's for the losers, right? We're the people who get it, right? We're about keeping the profits up, type thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and me personally, man, is somebody who's never really valued a dollar. You know what I mean? I'm somebody who never had anything my whole life.
Right.
And anytime I did have something, it was something I always worked hard for. Right. Which is why it feels good to have that honest dollar bill. Because if there's anything I learned from older cats that made those types of decisions and lived that life, the best piece of advice they ever gave me was, listen, dude, that money's never yours.
Right.
That money's never yours. It climbs up the ladder to the guy sitting at the top. You just get to hold it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's really the test. Are you gonna sit there and hold it and give it to who needs to be given to? Because that's where loyalty and honor comes from.
Right.
You know? And me personally, I've always been a lone wolf for the most part my whole life. I'm somebody who had very little friends. I was always welcomed. I've always had people come into my life and say, especially if they're older people, you know, if I was dating a girl, you know, their parents always loved me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or with my best friend's family, they always loved me, because you could leave me in your house and I wouldn't steal nothing. Right. You could leave your wallet in front of me and I wouldn't take nothing. I've had $30,000, $40,000 tossed in my lap, saying, you know, this, and that, and it's just like, this ain't mine. I don't want shit to do with it. Right. You know, having that type of understanding in life, like, there is no free meals, because that's the first thing. That's the first thing. That's the first thing they throw in your face.
But when you're struggling though, and this is why this whole game can be tough, because a lot of times, in this capitalist, structure where profits are over people, they're coming at you where you're in the deficit, right? So let's say for the guys that are older, you know, maybe your esteem is low, you can't really get a partner, So let's tag you with some of this stuff from the hub, right? And
Right.
keep you
And keep you temporarily satisfied,
Yeah.
so that you're not out looking or being better.
Right,
It's a distraction of saying, you know,
right.
something. And I'm guilty of that shit.
Yeah,
was guilty of
I
that
think
shit
we
too.
all are to a degree. I mean, especially like I said, coming up out here in this system, wherever we may be and we're in it.